hate this. There we go. But anyways, holla at your boy. It's your boy Triple BLACK, aka the number one stunner, aka the boss. Anyways, man, I'm about to go pick up my son. And man, shout out to everybody out there. Shout out to the YouTube content creators. Shout out to Bernard Riley, Angry Man. I was on the panel the other day. Shout out to those guys. You know, we were talking about a show. First one, I think it was how Jamela Hill was talking about the male patriarchy and how black men don't want to end the patriarchy or whatever. I don't know what the fuck that means, but anyways, man, shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to the family, man. Shout out to FBA, shout out to ADOS, shout out to all those guys. Shout out to my Zoes, shout out to the Caribbean folks, man. Shout out to Soul Traveler. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to my black people, man, the Africans, everything, man. You already know what it is, man. Hey, I wanted to make this show because what was very interesting, because I've been on a couple of these panels and stuff like that, and a lot of the content creators are like ADOS and things like that. So I went on there just to have a discussion, and um, basically what they were saying, because we were talking about the whole Ice Cube thing. This what I got out of it is like there's really no gap. I guess part of ADOSing or whatever is Trump supporting. So they're full Monty on Trump. And what I was trying to do, I was trying to ask a question because I always try to look at things from a strategic standpoint. I studied public administration, so I know about the sausage making process. That was the degree. I have a master's degree in public administration. How public policy gets implemented, all the things that happen with public policy, and the thing about it is both candidates are terrible. I mean, they're terrible candidates. They're basically status quo candidates. But from a stylistic standpoint, I think a lot of black men um, are starting to like Trump because he does. He's a defendant of the patriarchy, and I think that's one of the qualities. But there's a lot of stuff that go to it. Me from when I listen to those type of guys, I'm a little bit more sensitive. The thing about why I'm more sensitive is because I actually study this shit. I mean, not to toot my own horn. I always study this shit, and you also understand in public policy, whatever you see is not what you get. So there's a lot of shit, and when you see blatant shit that gets thrown out there. I also have a master's in business administration. One of the things was like, for instance, Trump says that he's a real estate mogul. He had all these businesses, and they try to pin him on a tax thing, right? And then he was like, he prepays his taxes, and like a W-2 employee, basically we prepay our taxes and we get a refund at the end. But if you're a business owner, especially in real estate, especially if you're all this successful real estate mogul and all this type of shit, man, you're not gonna fucking prepay your fucking taxes. I mean, why would you give Uncle Sam your money when your investments are better? Why would you prepay your taxes? Like, you only prepay your taxes if you projected to owe. Um, if you're projected to owe, or you want to, get it out the way. That's the only reason that you want to do that, right? But of course, all these motherfuckers are on the fucking Trump train now. They're just on the fucking Trump train, and they are not even. They don't even want to deal with any type of logic. They don't want to deal with facts and shit like that. They've already, they're doing the same shit that the fucking Democrats did like, a couple years ago. Like, if you don't if you don't agree with what my views are, then you're this and you're that and whatever. Like, you need to fucking, like, if you black, you gotta vote this guy. If you don't vote this guy, you're not voting your interests. Get the fuck out of here, man. Holy, a lot of black people come from single parent home and they're run by the matriarch. It's not a good thing, but it is what it is. Forget AC. Man, shout out to King Dorian 95, man. Angelic or one, God damn, I have the worst job at pronouncing shit. The thing about it is, it's like, man, what what really fucking like grinds my gears. It's like it's okay to have a discussion, right? Like you have what you are, what you believe in and whatever. But don't try to fucking tell me the sky is fucking blue. The sky is fucking. I mean, the sky is a different color than what it is. It is what it is. If that's what you want, just go ahead and say it. Don't toe the line. And the thing about it is I don't know what it is about black people, man. We end up in our minds, I guess the seeds of white supremacy and white worship is so fucking like ingrained in us that we create these fucking false prophets. Like when you listen to a motherfucker now, like especially a black Trump supporter or one of these motherfuckers, they're like, Trump is infallible. He's in fucking fallible. He's infallible. Like he cannot do like every single thing. Like it's like a dick measuring contest with him. Like this, I guess if you like his fucking style or whatever, I don't give a fuck if he's racist. I don't give a fuck if he's racist. I mean, that's the battling cry now. But at the same fucking time, they want to like tell you how racist Joe Biden is. God damn. And the thing about it is I mean, if you look at the Trump plan, honestly, if you look at it from when you first look at it, I'm not talking about the Ice Cube contract for Black America, but if you look at the Trump Platinum Plan, which has been I guess connected to Ice Cube, as what they. I mean, it's pretty much an ADOS talking point, and I said this before, and it's basically an ADOS talking point. What I get a little bit irritated about is I understand that there's a foundational black movement or native black movement. There's the ADOS movement and shit like that. Because I was talking, I was just like, hey, you know what? Because they labeled it as Black America, but every time you talk to them, they say, you got to make a clear distinction. Okay, let's make a clear distinction. You guys are a special interest group, which is fine. You know what? Make that clear distinction. You know, make that fucking clear distinction. That's all you got to do. Hey, just make that fucking clear distinction. Hey, if you're a special interest group, there's a lot of special interest groups that go to different candidates all the time. Let's call it what it is. But don't try to make this shit under this guise of Black America. Black America. Who gets treated in Black America. I mean, whatever. Like it's like it's what like the thing about it is you don't want the association with Black America. I mean, like you don't want the association with Haitians. You don't want the associations with Africans. You don't want none of those associations. But I mean, we didn't make it this way. I mean, we're considered Americans too. If we're in this country, we got citizenship and stuff like that. Why don't you make this ploy this ploy for foundational Black America? Like, once you put that fucking label on it, if you stand that fucking strong on shit, why don't you do that? I don't think anybody will have any problem with it. I don't think anybody will have any problem with it, especially with immigrants and shit like that, because they got their own movement with CARICOM. This is the fucking thing right here. And you can't, just stay out the fucking way. Just go sit in the fucking corner. Every time somebody, like you have this fucking discussion with somebody, you got these motherfucking, that'll browbeat you and shit. All these assholes, that got fucking things right now are fucking, like, right-wing think tanks, I mean, you can't have a fucking different opinion. The same fucking shit that, I'm sorry to cuss, man, but it's kind of frustrating. The same shit that they were accusing the Democrats of doing to black people. Now they're doing that shit. Like now they're they're basically talking like you need to do this, you need to do that, bitch. Like, how the fuck you want to fucking you want to paint a broad brush of black people, right? But you want to make it a fucking distinction when it comes to shit. Like we don't have to fucking live under the shit that you have, right? So I mean, you know what? The gloves are off me. Fuck all that shit. Fuck all that PC, not PC shit, but trying to build a gap and all this bullshit. You know what? Whatever, man. You know what? If you don't want Kumbaya, fuck it. Whatever. But anyways, the thing about it, you know what? I really can't say that because I got a son. I have a fucking son. I have a son, and his mother is, I guess, an American descendant of slave or whatever. So he's gonna have to grow up in this thing. He also, with me, I don't even know what the thing is. Does he consider? Is he considered that now? Because do I like, take him out of the picture or whatever? Whatever. I mean, fuck that reparations shit. But anyways, the contract for Black America. But when you go on there and look at the Trump Platinum Plan, it sounds like there is a contract for a certain type of Black America. Okay, but we also got to also live under that umbrella too. So you're trying to tell us? I mean, I don't. That's the part I don't fucking get it. I don't understand how people can't understand that you are concocting something and you're hiding behind this thing, and then it's gonna we're gonna be under an umbrella that it's all gonna affect us, right? So I was like, you know what, let's go be on some kumbaya shit. So whatever. And we know around America there's different pockets of different like immigrant groups. You got Lil Haiti, you got Somalia, you got all these these different things like New York. You got a bunch of Jamaicans, you have all these black segments of the population that a lot of times they have a lot of business infrastructure already built up. It's already built up, and I was just like, hey, you know what? It's water under the bridge. Like, in the first time you're like, okay, you use language like, hey, you know what? How do you bridge the gap? What is that relationship? Oh, just shut up and watch us do work. Okay, all right, shut up and watch you do work. Okay, so you want to use the guise of black, but at the same time, I mean, like, to me, it's starting to not make any fucking sense, man. It just doesn't make any sense. It's like, I mean, if what we're talking about is giving you a check, which is fine, I all for that shit. But the inherent problem of giving you a check is not going to fix a lot of the inherent issues, especially when we have statistically, we don't have any infrastructure. And I don't even know if I need to change the way I even approach it. I mean, I can't really even consider myself we. I mean, I grew up in America. I considered myself black. But I don't know if I'm allowed that anymore. And that's where the confusion comes in, right? It's like, I don't know, man. I just don't know the not the logic behind it. It's just like, go shut up and sit in the corner. But yeah, we're gonna use you, you know, to. I mean, I don't get it no more. It's so mass confusion. The thing about it is, I was asking a question, and I don't know if Joe Biden and them know this, but I think they've probably stumbled up on something, and Ice Cube them don't fucking realize it. They don't realize it. They don't realize it. It's like, uh, one of the things that they don't understand is, like, I mean, he comes out there and it tickles the fancy, of these black conservatives that that these overt Trump supporter black conservative. I mean, he tickles their fucking fancy. Like, you know, they like validated them. He's validated them, and but you know, the problem is I don't think there's enough of them to really move the needle. For every one of them, you have like, I would say, 5 or 6 people on the other side that's more defiant. It's like you're almost waking up some people that you don't want to wake up. And one of the strategies that the Trump supporters or the Trump campaign wants to do is voter suppression. And you want to suppress the vote as much as possible because that helps you in your favor. But when you bring somebody like Ice Cube out, you bring somebody like 50 Cent out, and they say certain things to kind of, you know, they say certain things, and what's end up happening. This is what ends up happening.